Okay. And I'm going to turn the stage over to Bill. And it's one of
Right.
those nights where I get to sit back and have fun.
Okay, play from beginning. Did I share my screen? Can you ever see my screen? Are we going yet?
Not yet.
Okay, bear with me. Oh, there we go. We practice, of course you practice and you screw it up right before. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Fetter. I know Immaculate Paint Protection. We're located in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It was a real pleasure to come back again tonight and do this presentation for you guys here. I see that we have some of our current clients online here at High Rose, and we have see some of our future clients here. So I'll get right into it with you. Hold on. Okay, why are we here tonight? Well, the basic, I'm just here to share some information with you guys tonight. So I'm not, this isn't, John, you can stop me. This is not going to be a sales pitch. I'm not looking to drum up business here. My main thrust with a lot of this is that the paint protection, it's really overwhelming, confusing, and I sense a lot of frustration or unknowns from literally the Tesla is the big bulk of our business. So I understand you guys are making a big purchase in your new vehicle. You're excited about your Tesla and you want to do the best for it. So hopefully we can put out some great information here to help you with the purchasing decision of paint protection film and ceramic coating. Couple points here about that. I absolutely believe in the paint protection film. I believe in the ceramic coatings. We have them on our own personal vehicles here at home in the shop. I got into the business because I was looking for paint protection film to put on our own personal vehicles, and I found that there wasn't many options available at the time. That was 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I did one on my own as a hobbyist in my garage, and it absolutely was terrible. So I decided it was worth paying for a professional to try it out. Since then, the market's really exploded. So I think even more now than ever, guys, just getting some good information out in the marketplace and trying to help educate you as a consumer. That's going to help you, and that's going to help me ultimately together. That's kind of the fear tactic is, look, if you get paint protection film or ceramic coating done and it's done poorly, it can really cost you a lot of money in the end. The one thing I would like to point out is our paint protection buyer's guide. That's a free resource to you. I know you guys are all smart. You're part of the Tesla Owners Club of Pennsylvania. I'm trying to bring really good information again here tonight. I know it's probably the 5th time I said really good information, so I'll stop on that. But I did pay the $250 to come in here tonight, so I'm trying to hopefully get your value out of that. But that paint protection buyer's guide, that's a completely free resource. You can either get it through the club on the forum there. John has access to it, but you can also just go to our website on the hyperlink I dropped into the chat. All I need from you is just give us your email. We're not going to harass you. Just get the buyer's guide. The buyer's guide is essentially everything that's going to be encapsulated in this presentation tonight. So if you like to read, you want to see the pictures, there's a lot of just good buyer's tips. Again, I think once properly educated, we're going to help you make the right decision. We have a nice flow chart in there. If you like the technical bent, you like flow charts, we got a flow chart to show you exactly what type of paint protection you need given for your situation.
As a heads up to the Owners Club members, if you're a member of the Tesla Owners Club, if you go under our resources tab, which is only accessible if you're in the club, you'll see that you can download a PDF version of Bill's book.
If you have any questions, just we can make it free form tonight if you guys want. If you have any questions, please stop, jump in the chat. John will stop me as the questions come up. So I'm here for you guys tonight to help you out. And at the very end, I'm going to provide you some pro tips and tricks how to maintain your Tesla along the way too. One more. Okay, so the background, a little bit about me and myself, what makes me. So the shop physically is about 60, 70 miles from Devon. We're close to the service center. We're about 100 miles from Mechanicsburg right now. So we've had people come a couple hours to our shop. If you really want to come to our shop and you need alternate transportation, I can get you a rental car. Unfortunately, it's going to be a Toyota, but we don't have Tesla rental cars here just yet. My background, I'm an industrial engineer, so I have an engineering automotive background. I went to Kettering University, which is in Flint, Michigan. So that was a real automotive focus. I grew up in California. My dad worked for General Motors for 35 years. So I was actually in the Fremont, California plant before in 1995 when it was Toyota. It was Nomi then, as you probably know, but that's a little fun fact. So for some reason I left. I could have got a co-op ship in Silicon Valley, which 25 years later was absolutely just a bonehead move to not go take advantage of Silicon Valley as a young man. But I left there, wanted to do automotive, and that's how I got there. Today, after, what do I do? How do I stay current within my industry? So I'm certified with 3 major paint protection film companies. They know me, I know them. I reach out to their technical resources. They kind of certify our work. And we've been certified by 2 major ceramic coatings. So those some of my credentials and maybe the reasons why I can talk to you tonight. So, okay, here's the overview. So we're gonna talk about paint protection film. So paint protection film was real simple. The purpose of paint protection film was to stop the rock chips and the stone chips. The next thing we hear about a lot is ceramic coatings. So ceramic coatings are there to keep the vehicle cleaner longer. Ceramic coatings are not going to stop the rock chips. They're just going to make it easier to clean for you. And then at the end, we're going to have some dirty talk. I'll tell you how to wash your Tesla and some safe ways to do that. Because a lot of the paint damage that you see inflicted on a Tesla that's 6 months, 12 months, 2, 3 years old, it's because it's improperly washed. So I'm going to help you through that. Here's some more pictures, just so that's there. The basics of the paint protection film. So we've talked about it. It's here to stop the rock chips, stone chips. It's a multi-layer. Let me just get to the photo here. So here, it's a sandwich construction. So the core function is just the TPU, thermoplastic urethane. It's 6 mil, so 6/1000 of an inch thick. So that's the impact layer with adhesive and then a clear coat on top of it. So that's going to suck up. That's going to take all the brunt of the impact of the rocks and the stones on the road. So that's why your paint's not chipped. If you ever put an iPhone cover or a cell phone cover on your phone, it's essentially the same material as that. So we can transfer that thinking. We view it as a professional only installation for it. So the paint protection film, it's very expensive, but it's also very difficult to apply. It's not something you're going to pick up over, a weekend or 2 weekends, or you're going to take a 2-day class and master the skills of it. So it's the engineer in me, that my ego as an engineer got the best of me at the beginning. I thought, well, I can just figure this out. And it really is, some of the installation is an art form at that point. You just have to go in and do it and spend a bunch of time. What we do, how do we do the paint protection film? So we use computer cut patterns here for shop. This is what I'm showing you here is a picture of a Tesla Model Y. So that's the pattern. So we're looking at the bumper, we're looking at the hood, and then we're looking at the 2 fenders. So something of point here is, I know if you jump online, people will ask you, oh, well, we do our custom shop. We are, we want a custom, we want everything covered. Well, that's fine and good, but the truth is, a lot of times they'll sell you on custom because they don't have a computer cutter, which is going to cost thousands of dollars to do. The nice thing about computer cut patterns too is if something does get torn up, we can replace. Sometimes we can replace just individual pieces. If that's damaged, we can just replace that, so it's a minimal cost. The other thing that I really think is important now, since we're moving towards the full self-driving, every one of your Teslas now, if you look at these fenders on this, what I'm showing you here, the 2 fenders, well, you can see those cutouts. Everybody knows this. That's going to be, those cutouts are for your cameras on the side. So if I was to make that a custom piece or bulk or not use the computer, I would have to remove your cameras from the car. It's not to say you can't take those cameras out and put them back in. For my shop, I think that's too much risk to start taking your Tesla apart. I don't see any reason to take a brand new car apart in our shop. There's just no reason to take a brand new car apart if it's not damaged. So, and then the other issue becomes, so the guy does talk to you, says, oh yeah, we can take it apart, no problem, but you take it apart, you run the risk of breaking a clip. So that's okay. You just run down to the dealership, you run down to the service center, you buy another piece. Well, here's the issue. Now the way of the world is parts are on back. So now you've taken somebody's car apart, somebody's broke your car, and now you're on backlog to get a part in for months at a time. So we really avoid taking a vehicle apart at all costs. The only thing we will take apart on a Tesla is we will take off the center T. The reason we do that is because if we don't take that off, there'll be a seam where it's cut out and the material lands right over the T. We take the T off, we remove the adhesive, we put new adhesive, we put the T back on. So it's a cleaner look. But if somebody absolutely doesn't want us to take the T off, we will not take the T off for you. So there's just some of the questions that you're going to run into when you're shopping for paint protection. So there's 2 Teslas in our shop. So this other picture here, what I'm showing.
Yeah, actually, we have a comment in the chat, and it's a good comment. Jatoya, I don't know if everybody can see the chat, but she said, I had this experience with mine, and she had her car wrapped, and they took the camera off, and she had to pay to replace the cameras again. So it's not something that you want anybody doing.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, look, I understand the way it's sold, and I understand that. Look, let me just say, quite frankly, the way it is. To take the car apart, to put this magic paint protection wrap on it, that's not the purpose of it. It's not to improve the paint. It's paint protection, not paint perfection. So we're going to make the film look really good for you. We're going to do the best job we possibly can. If there's ever an issue, I'm going to stand behind the work in my shop. But it's not to go above and beyond. And there's no reason to take, I'm sorry, I can't see any better than her experiences. The cameras came out of her car and they were broken, and now they have to go back in. You spend a lot of money for your car. The last thing I want to do is call you up and tell you, hey, we just broke your brand new vehicle. There's no reason for that. So something to think about. We can talk about the wraps. Maybe at the end of the thing, we can talk about wraps. There's some interesting things about wraps there. Not the wraps are bad or good, but there's just some things to think about for that when you get to the wrap. I know wraps are a big deal in Teslas. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge because we personally don't do wraps at our shop. So I'm showing, we believe so much in the computer cut and the patterns that I actually have 2 of these plotters now in my shop. Last year, there was some issues with software potentially that there's a third-party software that was available open market, and they did such a good job with patterns that another major film manufacturer bought them to shut them down. So those guys called me up and offered to sell me their film, and I declined. So I had to buy a new plotter to get into new software, which is always fun. But here's my point. Look, if I wanted to go, I could literally just go buy a box of film and buy a $7 knife and start doing paint protection film tomorrow. That's the cost of entry to it. The problem is you're going to start cutting up cars. You're going to start doing a whole bunch of things with custom work. The caveat is if the guy has been doing paint protection film for 20 or 25 years, that was way before patterns were available, then yeah, I may trust a dude and let him do custom work. But given the fact that there's patterns, there's technology out there, we embrace the technology. We want to use it on that. So just put that in the back of your head when somebody is selling you all the benefits of a custom job. Just ask them if they're selling the benefits of a custom job, ask them if they have the plotter. And if they tell you no, then you probably know where they're coming from. So why paint protection film? So here's a Model S. It's a couple years old. So it looks kind of good, but the close-up is it's scratched up, it's abraded. The paint protection film goes on as the sacrificial layer. The nice thing about the paint protection film, it is designed, it's engineered to come off the vehicle. So it will absorb the brunt of the impact. And, if you can replace a part. I've had some clients in my shop that drive up and down the turnpike, the Northeast Extension here, and they've said they've repainted their car 3 or 4 times on the front end. So they come in, we put paint protection in it. That stops that problem for them. So that's what we're seeing there. Tesla pad. So the question always becomes, well, why do we need? The fact is the newer vehicles, the paint's chipping faster. Okay, so there's a couple things that are going on here. If you think about it, one, the speed limit's now 70 miles an hour. Travis, you were talking 80, 85 miles an hour. You're going down the road pretty fast. Just that speed, the physics of it makes it, makes the impact, the force, the brunt of it so much greater. And the other issue we're going to be talking about is the newer paint is just, it's just thinner. It just is. So they make the new paint thinner for, a couple of reasons. One, it looks better when it's thinner. It's easier to apply. The second part of it too is it's production capacity. So when Tesla's building in Fremont, they're selling vehicles outside in a tent at one point to make capacity. They weren't painting them outside because they could the paint shop is the bottleneck of the production facility. So, if you as many cars, you can build as many cars as you can paint. So when you stop the line, you slow the line down, and that maybe is why, if we can dive into a side topic, does Tesla have good paint or bad paint? I would tell you, as far as paint quality, I've seen better paint from other manufacturers in our shop. Then again, my caveat is this is more when we start talking ceramic coating. My general theory is let's look at it and let's have realistic expectations about what we're doing here. I'll talk. Let me put a pin in that. I'll come back to the ceramic coating and talk about paint correction.
Hey, Bill, quick question that we have in here. How difficult, this is from John Biggs, how difficult is it to replace PPF, and will paint come off when the film is removed?
Okay, so that's a great question, John. So let me tell you the bad, and then I'll tell you the good. So I've only seen, paint, when you take the paint protection film off, there's always an inherent risk that you're going to lift the paint. And I'll tell you when that's going to happen. It's going to happen typically with Ferraris because their paint's poor, and and if the car has been in an accident, resprayed, and there was poor surface preparation on the bumpers. For a while, they were having some issues with Teslas, but they've corrected that. It's just the bumper, the plastic substrate, they don't prep it well enough. They don't degrease it properly. So the paint, what happens is the paint's really not bonded to the substrate. So it's not the paint protection film ripping the paint off. It's just the paint's loose to begin with, and you put a little tension on, you're going to lift it right up. So any reputable manufacturer. So I tell people, in our buyer's guide, we list some reputable manufacturers, and they're not, some of them are manufacturers that we don't sell. There's other good film out there that we don't offer. But look for a film that has at least a 10-year warranty. Look for a film that's been on the market, that's been in the marketplace for some years, and really talk to your installer. Ask your installer this particular question. They should tell you, look, there could be a risk with it, but they should tell you when it's bad. So if a car's been in an accident and you can replace the film, absolutely. What my policy is, I go directly to the body shop and I'll do the install at the body shop. So that way, if we have a problem during the install with paint and in that, or in the body shop, we can address the issue right there with the body shop manager. It's just if it gets to my shop at that point, then if something goes wrong, the body shop says, "Oh no, that guy Bill doesn't know what he's doing." I absolutely do know what I'm doing, and I know that they painted it correctly. But so film now that's on the market, and it should not have a problem coming off. I mean, we've taken film off that's 3, 4, 5 years old now, not a problem, and it's okay. It sometimes can be a little arduous of a task, but it's definitely something you could do. So that shouldn't be a concern. Hopefully I answered the question there for you, John.
Yeah, sounds like you did, and we've got 2 more.
Okay, well, good.
Okay, from Travis, is there any evidence the aerodynamics of the car contribute to rock chips? He's seen that comment a number of times. As you know, Teslas are extremely aerodynamic, so I guess that's where that question's coming from, Bill.
Yeah, I would definitely think you're onto something there, Travis. I think well, 2 things. I think one, the Teslas are lower to the ground, so there's lower to the ground, and just the fact of, in simple terms, they have a lot of horizontal component to them, right? So coming straight at the car is going to chip it. A pickup truck right now that's kind of flat. We don't sell full hoods on a pickup because, I mean, we could, but the rock jumping up and hitting that like that. So that full flat ended on the Tesla, great area. They're also lower to the ground. The trucks are higher, throwing stuff off, and then definitely probably the aerodynamics of that wind coming right up and over it will do that. So yeah, I mean, you can see. Next time if you're traveling across the country, start looking at the superchargers and find guys that have a lot of miles in their car and see what they look like. That'll give you a real indication on that.
Okay, and Yeah, I think you got that. And the next question from Dan Gonzalez, is there discoloration or yellowing of the PPF after a span of time? And is that and is that noticeable, especially on a white car?
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. So I I thought that issue was gone and out of this industry, but it's not. Unfortunately, a year or two ago, somebody came to my shop with a Tesla from another shop, and it was yellowing off right away. And it was a newer install. It was really disappointing to me. It was a film that we don't offer, a film we haven't offered, a film we would not offer after seeing that. So, you know, it's a fine line between education and talking poop here. So I'll just stay professional. I'll just say, yeah, you could run into a film that would yellow. All the films that I offer in my shop, one of the things I look for on our warranty cards, I tell people, look, don't worry about that. One, trust me that it won't. And then two, if it does yellow, it's warranted. So if you can't get service from me, you're going to get service through Suntech, which is a major film manufacturer, and they will stand behind it. The yellowing on a white car. So then we can go one step a little bit lower on that. The film will color shift a little bit. It may take on a little bit of it's almost optically clear. So that means it's like 99.9%. So there's going to be just a little bit of shift. That's why we like doing the full front ends on these Teslas too, especially in a white one, because you won't notice it because it lands the body brake. What we have seen sometimes is that we will see a car. If you have a white car, you put PPF and you don't wash the car. If you don't maintain that film, so you need to wash the film is porous. The film has a clear coat on it, so we want to. A lot of times, what happens is the film will just get embedded with, especially in the springtime, a lot of pollen will get it or clog up, and then that'll take on that yellow tinge to it. So, a good wash on that. Hold on. To answer your question, if you got yellowing, we got, not to sell soap here tonight, like I'm not that guy, but there's specific PPF soaps on the market now that you can use. And if that's your issue with yellowing, I would try that first and then see what goes away. And if it's really, really noticeable, you need to go back and talk to your installer and ask them to correct the problem.
Okay, I think you got that, Bill. Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. So that kind of gets into, so life expectancy of film is 10 years. If you're track racing your car, it may only be a year just because it's that much impact. I think I answered it. The film is designed to come off the car. Look for a brand name product. Look for a brand name. Look for the brand name. Look for the installer. Then go to that company and check and verify that installer is actually on the company's website. So we install Suntech in our shop. We're certified with STech. So if you go to the STech website right now, you'll see our shop name on there. So that's in the best interest of both. It's in my interest to do a good job so I can sell their film. It's in their interest to have me do a good job, so we promote it and do a good job for them. And ultimately, you know, they don't want bad work out there either. And if the guy's saying, hey, I'm selling this film, but if they're not on the locator, that would raise a question or a flag to me. Unfortunately, there's a lot of material coming in from overseas now, and it's just I can't validate it all. And it's like everything else in life, that it's super cheap, and I don't know why is it so cheap. That would make me suspect. So I really, really watch the material we use coming to the door here. Yeah, again, the warranty, that manufacturer should back up that warranty. I've been with some of the film companies, sometimes when something goes wrong, it's gone wrong in another shop, you know, they've reached out to me and said, hey, this guy is either, you know, maybe the guy bought the film in you know, say Texas, and now he's in Pennsylvania. They'll get a hold of us and say, hey, could you take a look at this, you know, help this gentleman out, and then we can honor the warranty for him. So that's important for you. So what is PPF? So PPF is just kind of like the big football player. I mean, it's a very good buy, but you can put the pads on. You're going to put the pads, the protective gear in your car to go out and drive it. So backing up. So just in general, I think paint protection film, I always recommend. I talked about paint protection film first because if you're buying a new Tesla, buy paint protection film first, and then we can talk about ceramic coatings. Now, I just said if you're buying, I chose my words carefully. If you're buying a new Tesla, get paint protection film first. If you're leasing a new Tesla, let's really have a serious conversation about, do you need paint protection film? If I almost always discourage people or talk, somebody comes to me and says, I'm leasing, I want to put paint protection film in my car. I ethically can't take your money on that, guys. I don't see, it would be nice for me to sell you $2 or $3 or $4, $6,000 of film on your car, but you're going to turn that car in 3 years. I don't know if it's still true, John. You could tell me, can you buy out the leases in the Model X's? Is that true?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you can buy a Model X off lease. You cannot, if you lease from Tesla, you cannot buy a 3 or a Y at the end of the lease.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying here. So I told you I wasn't coming here to sell tonight, and that's maybe proof of me being an stand-up guy for you. You know, you're going to put the paper protective film on the car, and you're going to turn the car back in. Yeah, it's great. That Tesla's going to look awesome. It's going to be really nice for the next person. I mean, I've done paint protection film on a leased vehicle. Somebody says, hey, look, I'm leasing it right now, but I'm leasing it because that's the price point I need to get into, but I know I'm going to buy out the lease. Well, then that makes sense. You're looking to protect that long-term value of the vehicle. If you're leasing a vehicle, that's our segue right into, then let's talk about ceramic coating. So ceramic coatings, what are they? They are, so it's ceramic or quartz as a common, trade names into it. So there's basically the active ingredient is silica dioxide, and it's based in, then the chemists get together and they put some solvents in there, and you wipe it onto the vehicle, you let it bond in, and then it's going to cross-link in with the clear coat, so it's going to make it a little glossier, just a little bit. And then it's going to make it easier. The reason you're getting a ceramic coating is you're getting it for the self-cleaning properties. It increases hardness somewhat. This is an overused term. Teslas have notoriously soft paint. They do. And then people hear, oh, well, ceramic coatings increases the hardness, but it's not. You can, I don't care what shop you go to. If you go to the shop and they sell you ceramic coating, they tell you you're not going to scratch your paint, I would walk away from it. They're lying to you. Yeah, the ceramic coatings we sell, it's going to help reduce some of the marring, but you still need to be very careful when you wash your paint with any vehicle. So you're not going to put a ceramic coating on the car and take it to the car wash. If you want to take your car with the big brushes, if you want to take your car to the car wash every week or every other day, then tell me that, and let's not sell you the ceramic coating, because it's just going to make the car look terrible. That's where all the swirls and scratches come from. So if that's you, that's okay. It's your car. You can do that, but let's not take your money. The ceramic coating will also provide some protection against the UV elements, so it's really great for the southern states. It's nice up here in the wintertime with the salts and that. It just, again, it's going to make the car so much easier to wash and keep clean. The nice thing about this too is if you were out waxing your car, wax, a hand applied wax, old school method, is going to last 2 to 3 weeks. The ceramic coatings now are good for 3, 4, 5 years on that. We can talk about durability too. So what we do is when we put the ceramic coating on, we do something called paint correction. So what that is, it's just polishing. So we're going to machine polish your vehicle. We're going to bring the shine up. That's going to take some of the swirls and marring out. Your vehicle is going to be glossier. I've talked about it staying cleaner. What I did want to talk about as far as the vehicle and the paint correction, guys, that's something to watch out for. So we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you make your Tesla paint look the best it possibly can within reason. We're gonna go over the car with a fine-tooth comb, and it's gonna look great when you come to that. As far as showing you every little, there's a little solvent pop here, these little fish eyes to paint, or this and that. I don't really believe in walking over the car and making you feel bad about the paint. Some of the stuff it just is what it is with it. You'll see some white. If you pick up a new Tesla, you'll see some like white, milky, hazy patches in it. Don't worry about that. What that is that's just they fix something at the factory. So they typically, that's like a dust nib. So they take the dust out of the paint, then they wet sand it, and then they compound it. Well, they didn't. So they've marred up that after the sanding, they've taken the sanding marks out, but they didn't refine it and polish that out to make it blend in, look like the rest of the paint. So it's a really simple fix, but people kind of freak out like, oh my God, look at all these white spots on my car. And we'll take care of that for you. No problem. So don't, just be careful when you're buying ceramic coatings. This doesn't know all the story here.
Hey, Bill, we have one question here from John Travato.
Okay.
Do you install remotely, or does the car have to be done at your shop?
Yeah, so we do everything inside the shop. So we do that. So for the paint protection film, we need to be doing the inside. I found inside keeps down the dust, contaminants, and all that coming through. And you have to go to super clean shop. Spent $25,000 last year put air conditioning in the shop, so it makes installing physically for me when it's 85 degrees in here, it just was physically taxing. But what I found is installing in a climate controlled environment with air conditioning raised our quality level up so much because the film behaves differently. Over 75, 76 degrees, the film becomes real pliable, becomes messy, and it's tough to work with. With the ceramic coatings are very sensitive to humidity. So the ceramic coatings we now offer, we offer a 5-year ceramic coating. I talk about the warranty and all that in a bit, but the professional grade coatings are really susceptible to environmental conditions. So it's the humidity that really plays with us on that. So now by having air conditioning in the shop, and I can control the humidity down to like summertime, like 50, 55% in here, which is nice on that. So remotely, no. It's not to say the guys can't do ceramic coatings remotely. There are some ceramic coatings on the market that can be installed outside, outdoors. Those typically have a lower life expectancy on it. I would really be, if somebody's telling you that they're going to come to your house and do a 5-year or 10-year coating in an afternoon, I wouldn't pay too much for that. Just to be frank on that. So inside, all our services require, the fastest we can turn a vehicle around is probably 2 days. Paint protection film is going to take us about 2 days. We get most of the work done the first day. I like to let the film sit overnight. We come back in the morning, we quality check everything. So we take our lights, we look over the car, we make sure all the edges are down, everything's clean, pop any bubbles, and then we can release the car later that afternoon. Ceramic coating is probably a day and a half. So we're probably going to have your car for 2 to 3 days for ceramic coating. So what we do is, first day we do all the work, we wash 2 or 3 times, we do paint correction. The second day we apply the ceramic coating to your vehicle. And then what I need your car in my shop for a minimum of 24 hours for that initial cure for the ceramic coating on that. So it's really important that we keep the car inside dry. Right now, we're unique at our shop. We have 2 Tesla chargers inside the shop. We do so many of them. John helped us out with getting those Tesla chargers. That was a whole story, but we have 2 Tesla chargers. And so just the pocket check rules, if the car comes in under 50% charge, we put it on the charger right away. If it's over 50%, or usually I'm going to be on your car within a day or 2 when you're scheduled. So we're going to get your car on the charger when it's in here. We don't have to worry about your car going and bricking out on you or dying. And the other thing we do is we keep the vehicle inside our shop. The only time we take it outside is either for photos or if the sun's out and it can sit outside for a couple hours. But we store all the vehicles inside. We will treat your vehicle better than our own here at our shop. So 2 to 3 days needs to be done inside for you. Any other questions pop up since that?
Nope, that's it. You got it.
Okay. So ceramic coating is easy to wash, easy to wash. I keep saying that. You don't have to go out and wax your car anymore. If this is a common question, can I wax my car after a ceramic coating? Yeah, you absolutely can, but I wouldn't. If you're going to go wax your car every couple of weeks, and just go wax your car every couple of weeks, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. If that's what you really enjoy doing, you want to go and wash your car and spend a lot of time waxing it down, that's fine. That's awesome. Ultimately, that's how I kind of got into this. 25 30 years ago, my dad was always out washing and waxing his cars, and that's when we had some nice father-son talk. So if that's your thing, enjoy it. Go do that. And if you don't want to spend hours maintaining the car, then I think a ceramic coating is excellent for you. Let me see where I can. Okay. So I have touched about some of the limitations of the ceramic coating. The car wash, automatic car wash is going to be bad. So just if you don't learn anything else tonight, if you never go to an automatic car wash again with the big brushes, I tell you what, your car's going to look amazing. Go to a touchless car wash, or go to the car washer that you put the quarters and brass it down. And we'll talk about how to wash your car safely into this.
Yeah, I have to interject one thing in there, and you're probably not aware of this, Bill, but there have been problems with touchless car washes, and especially Model Ys.
The anodized trim.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
bleaching the trim out because of the chemicals they use there.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, John's absolutely right. And we've seen some of that in the shop here. So, yeah, that's, I guess that's a hard one, right? So I just told you don't go to the touchless, and then we're saying it's going to bleach the trim out. So what do? I think we go to the car wash and spray it down ourselves with that. At that point, just use the water. What happens is, I believe it's typically what they do in those car washes is, because they're touchless, they really rely on the chemistry. So that means typically they'll do an alkaline pre-rinse, pre-soak, and then that's going to bust all that real I get the numbers mixed up. The highly concentrated alkaline solution will bust all the dirt off. They'll rinse that off. Then they'll come back and they'll do the second wash, which is a higher acid base. So it's a lower number of acid. So an acid wash, and that's like liquid polish, they call it. So I believe it's the alkaline that's messing that trim up. So what we do in our shop, if your trim's all bleached out, we can polish that off. We can restore the trim for you. So we've had to polish the trim out, and then we will coat it. So hopefully the coating will minimize. The coating is resistant to the alkaline and the acid chemicals. So it's not to say it's foolproof, but it should help minimize that damage to it. So, maybe I should go put my cards up at this touchless car wash or something. Hey, does your car look like this? We can fix it for you. So yeah, so I mean, yeah, that anodized trim is beautiful, but we coat that, and then sometimes we offer that. We look, if you're coming in for PPF, we can do standalone. Sometimes we'll coat just that black trim for you, or the black plastic, without doing a whole coating, because that should help you out on that.
Yeah, someone's also asking, how far out are you booking right now if someone wanted an appointment?
Great. So we're booking 4 weeks out. So last year I was 12 weeks out. This year I'm 4. The reason I'm 4 is I do have, we were very blessed, and we have a highly talented shop manager now that's working for us. It's been with us for 6 months. So he's, Dan's stepping up real nicely here for us. So we're booking out 4 weeks. If you deal with me or somebody else, if they're not booked out, look, that would make me concerned. Quality, look, why am I booked out 4 weeks? Well, half of my clients, guys, are repeat. We've been in business. This is our 5th year business now. I take a lot of pride in the work we do at my shop, and I take a lot of pride in making sure that all our clients leave satisfied, and we give them what we said we're going to do. And, God forbid if something goes wrong after it, we take care of them. I stand behind all the work. So right now, everybody's coming into this market. Everybody's now everybody's a detailer. They want to become a detailer, then they want to do ceramic coatings. Now they want to do paint protection film. So I'm finding I got a lot of competition out there, but the work speaks for itself sometimes too. So just along those lines, ask your buddies at the Tesla meetup, if they've had PPF done, if they've had ceramic coating done. My rule of thumb, if the guy goes, yeah, I had it done, and he kind of walks away or doesn't answer it, then maybe ask them where they got it. Maybe that's not a great recommendation. If they say, oh, I went to this place, I went to ABC, or I went to Immaculate Paint Protection, those guys just did an amazing job, and you got to go there, then go there. Then it'll save you a lot of time and aggravation like that. So 4 weeks out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. You can finish.
So we're 4 weeks out. Here's the insider secret, guys. If you have a car on order, there is definitely I don't, how do I use this word? I don't want to say anything nasty here. There's bad words coming off their discounts. We don't do discounts in our shop, but we have special pricing for our Tesla Owners Club friends. So, and here's the thing: if you tell me you're from the club and you have your Tesla on order, I understand that the delivery dates are in flux and that. Just if you got a date, call us up, tell you got a date, we're going to put you on the schedule. And it's 4, 5, 6 weeks out. Cool. Guess what? You can get your car right from Devon or wherever you pick it up to our shop. If I understand that date is not set in stone, I get that. But the main thing is now you're on our schedule. You have some of our time, and we'll work with you. If it gets pushed back a week, all we'll do is we'll call the guy that's a week. It's supposed to be a week that week. I'll bring him in early. He's going to be happy. You're going to be happy, and we'll take care of everybody. But it's when you call me up and say, hey, it's Thursday. I'm going down Saturday to pick up my car. When can you? I want to drop it off Saturday. Right now, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I got 4 weeks of people in front of you. So call us up. Let us know. Call, email, text. I don't care. Tell us you're getting the car. Tell us you're from the club. We'll put you on the schedule. The only thing I ask is if something changes and you can't make the appointment or you don't want the services, I get it. Things change. Just call and let us know that you can't do it. I'm not going to hassle you. I'm not going to sell you into something else. Just give us heads enough time so we can bring somebody else in and take advantage of the time, please.
Okay. Another question here from Dan Gonzalez. Is there any benefit to applying ceramic coating on top of PPF? I have a feeling that's a good segue for you.
Yeah, that is a great question. So I think what we talk about, so we can do, you absolutely can put ceramic coating on top of PPF. And we do in our shop. We, if you buy paint protection film and a ceramic coating, we will put ceramic coating on top of the paint protection film. Why? Because you paid us to. You paid us to put ceramic coating on the whole car with the whole car. Here's where it gets tricky, guys. If you come in and you want just paint protection film, that's good. That's all you need. We're not going to use the $2,000 or $3,000 or $2,500 investment in paint protection film as an opportunity to scare $300 or $400 out of you and say, oh, well, now you really need, now you need the ceramic coating on top of this paint protection film. The paint protection films we sell are great. They should work on their own. In fact, I have 2 different films. I have a film that has a 10-year warranty, and the film that has a 12-year warranty has the ceramic coating infused into it. So that just takes the question way off the table on that. I think if somebody's trying to push you down the road that you need to put ceramic coating on top of your PPF, I think they're just taking advantage of the situation and forcing an upsell. I would rather sell you some more paint protection film on, say, the rocker panels or the A-pillars or the trunk lids or something that's going to be valuable and not protected. I'm not saying the ceramic coating is not valuable. I'm just saying we don't need to use it as an opportunity to sell for people. But buy the paint protection film first because the car's only new once. You want to get paint protection film. You can do ceramic coating 1-2 years down the road.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, so all right, so let's get through some of this. So life expectancy. So the other thing that's hard about the ceramic coating now is everybody sees ceramic coating. It says there's a lot of advertisement on TV. There's a lot of DIY ceramic stuff and sprays that, there's $15. You can go buy a bottle of $15 or $20 bottle of ceramic coating, put it on your car, and yeah, technically you have a ceramic coating in your car. It's not the same thing we're doing here. One of the things that we do is we're certified with Geon. Geon is what's nice about them. Oh, hold on, back up. Is the warranty? We now have a 5-year. So our ceramic coating is warranted for 5 years. That's how. So what I need you to do is you get the ceramic coating. I need you to wash your car once a month or every 650 miles. You got to wash the car. If you do that, you never see me again. We're going to warranty you for 5 years. If we put the ceramic coating on your car, you never wash your car, and you come back in a year and a half, and you tell me that your coating is we're going to have a tough conversation. But we'll talk about that too. But 5 years we never see you again. If you want to come back to us for ceramic coating maintenance every 2 years at 12,000 miles, whichever is first, which is going to be $300 to $400, we can extend the warranty. We can make it a lifetime warranty. What I like about this is it's either 5 years or a lifetime. It's 5 years if I never see you again. It's a lifetime if you come back and you let us do the work on the car. But I'm going to give you the choice. So a lot of my competitors are selling these 10-year, these lifetime warranties. They're selling that to you, and then you're like, oh, this is great, so it's going to last forever. And they go, oh, no. Thank you for the money. You need to come back every year for this maintenance. Well, he didn't give you a warranty. He just gave you a service contract. And that's I don't know. So 5 years, I never see you again. You come back, you like us, we take care of the car every 2 years of 12,000 miles. We can extend the warranty a lifetime. And what we do, the maintenance is we wash the car really good. We do an iron decontamination on it. We'll clay bar it if we need to. We'll inspect the coating, and then we top the coating up with the coating that's we top. We put another layer of coating on it that lasts 1 year. So that's how it. So we keep stacking the coating. That coating will last 1 year, 12 months, 18 months. It goes down, and then you come back again. We go back. So that's how that's really extending these lifetimes. So far, so good.
Yep, we're all good.
Application. So we're going to wash the car twice when it's in here. We're going to do it. There's some pictures here. Then we polish it. It's important not to scratch the car before you get to this. So the one thing I know I think now the guys down at Devon know us well enough by reputation. They will not prep wash the car.
Hey, Bill, your audio is scratching up a little bit. You might need to get closer to the mic or something.
Is it? It's raining pretty hard here at the shop.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good thunderstorm going on here too.
Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, maybe I'll start talking. So it's important you don't scratch the car before it gets to install. I've seen a lot of paint damage done by at the dealership level. So look, I've seen some dealers do a phenomenal job delivering a car to somebody, which is great. I've seen some guys deliver a car and they've absolutely destroyed it just by washing. So because I don't know who is good and who is bad, let's just assume that it's going to get damaged. So ask them not to wash the car. So ideally, we get the vehicle to us with some protective shipping wrap and we take the shipping wrap off. It's a little extra time on our end, but we know the vehicle is like it should be right from the factory. That's something. If it's scratched up, it could involve more extensive paint correction. What we do in our shop for paint correction, so it's not this magical time and material and we tell you, oh, well, there was 50 hours of work that we had to do to it. All of our ceramic coatings include a one go around with a polisher and a light polish. If we think there's more work that needs to be done, we look at the car with you when you bring it in. If you think there's more work that needs to be done, if it's not up to your level, we'll pull the polish card out, we'll wipe a section down, we'll do the one step that's already included in the price, and we'll show you actual results on your vehicle. We'll get the high power lights out, we'll inspect the paint with you. If you're happy with it, great. You're gonna leave, the price. If you think, hey, there should be more work done to it, we can give you a professional opinion on it, and we can show you the next step, what more work takes, and then I can give you a price right then and there. So, which is good because I don't want to do another day or 2 days worth of work if you're not going to appreciate it, and I don't want to do another 2 days worth of work and take the money that you're not going to appreciate. Or on the flip side is, I don't want to do just 1 day's worth of work and have you come up and say, oh man, I still see all the stuff in the paint. I thought that was going to be gone. And I'm going, well, yeah, that would have cost more money. You could say, well, yeah, I would have paid it. Well, so let's just have the conversation before you leave and figure that out. I'm super transparent about everything in our business. Check out our website at immaculatepaintprotection.com. All my prices are posted up there. What you see is what you're going to pay. There are Tesla pricing in there for you. So that if you don't do business with me, at least that'll give you a baseline of where somebody should be competitive in the marketplace with that. So there, we're washing the car up inside. We got it foamed up right there. If you can see that is a bunch of the purple coming off. That's embedded iron. So little iron particles, they fall from the sky, from the brake rotors, if it's on a rail car coming out, and the iron buries into clear coat. So we put, it's the same, I forgot the exact term, but it's the same active ingredient they use in women's hair perm. So ladies, if you ever had your hair permed and you come home, it smells terrible. I come home smelling like I got my hair permed every day. My wife absolutely hates me. So my clothes wind up in the garage and I have to wash them, all of that. So the application of ceramic coating. So there I am. I'm smiling because I'm working. Dan, our shop manager, he's down in the back end of it.
Now you're smiling because the other guy's working.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, I made it. Look at this, you know? So that's, yeah. And I've been in the shop, like Dan, he's been at the, New Jersey National Guard. He's called up for 2 weeks. So yeah, he got me. He's laughing because he knows he's going away for 2 weeks. Here's the work that's required to apply ceramic coating. So it's not a quick spray and spray off. We wash the car again. After we've polished it, we wipe it down with special degreasing agents to make sure that there's no oil on the panels. We want it to bond to naked paint. I apply the coating, minimum 1 time. More expensive coatings are tube coating systems. That's not necessarily true. The new 5-year coating we have, Geon has some new technology out. They have a coating that will last for 5 years. It's only 1 coat. So here's an insider tip for you guys too. Some of my competitors, they'll sell multi-layer coatings, 4 layers, 8 layers, 12 layers. And do I think 4 layers, 8 layers, and 12 layers of coatings are good? Well, it depends. Depends on what kind of vacation I want to take next year, guys. So if I want to make a bunch of money, I can sell you a 4-year, an 8-year, 12-year. The technology we have renders putting multiple coats on your vehicle not necessary. It's just a real, and that's not to say all coating systems are the same. So maybe those coatings that need 8, 12 layers, maybe they really need that. I highly doubt it. But the thought behind that is what happens is you hit a point of diminishing return where, you know, 1 layer gives you so much and the second layer will give you a little bit more and the third, it just doesn't stack up that way for the longevity. But what it does from an operator, from a business owner's perspective, is it makes it real easy to sell. Well, 4 layers is, you know, is $1,000, and 8 layers is $2,500, and 12 layers is $5,000. You know, you can see that it goes, oh, that logically would make sense. The more you put on, the more it's going to cost. What I'm telling you, you don't. If you come to our shop, what we use, we don't need multiple layers. So something to think about there. We keep the vehicle. That's what I'm saying. The coating can take 2 to 3 days to do. We keep the vehicle inside for 24 hours to keep it dry as it's curing out. The coating, it's going to be dry when it leaves the shop, and it's going to still be curing. It's going to take 14 to 21 days, somewhere around there. So the best thing you do if you get your car coated, if you have the ability to keep it inside in the garage, keep it inside in the garage. Keep it inside the garage when it's raining. So the best thing you do is keep the drier and the cleaner you can keep the vehicle for the first 14 to 21 days. I give everybody some detail spray when they leave and have a coating done so they can take care of it for the first 14 days.
Right.
So
Losing your audio again, Bill.
I'm sorry. So I'll give everybody detail spray when they leave to take care of the vehicle for the first 14 to 21 days. Audio okay now?
Yeah, a little better. It's fading in and out a little bit.
If it's a problem, I'll have to switch it. See if that works. When you're shopping for a ceramic coating, you know, check our website. There's 18 factors to consider. It's just not price. It's the name brand, it's the skill level, it's the work required. The biggest thing you can do is ask somebody, how long does this job going to take? When you guys don't have to worry about this because you bought a Tesla, but I tell people that when they say, hey, the dealership is going to install, the dealership wants to install some type of ceramic coating. Is it good or not? I don't know. But ask them this, how long is it going to take you to do that? They say, yeah, we can do it that night in 45 minutes. It's probably not great. You can't do a $1,000 job. I'd love if you can figure that out, please come tell me. I'd love to make that kind of money, but you can't. So, and then the brand names is difficult because there's some really big brand names out there. They've just done a great job marketing, really great job marketing. Not so good. There's some also boutique brands out there that are really awesome. So that's where the recommendations, if you've never bought this before, the recommendations from your friends that have already had this, and you've up to a shop, talk to them. I've talked to some people, and it really hurts me. Sometimes I've had people come in and said, "Oh yeah, I want the paper film, but I don't want the ceramic. Why don't you want the ceramic?" I said, "Well, I had it done before, and it wasn't okay." Well,
Yeah, Bill,
maybe.
Bill, yeah, we're losing your audio again there, Bill.
Okay, let me try. Let me switch over real quick. Is that any better?
Oh, yeah, much better.
Okay. Well, it's raining really, really hard here. Those are noise canceling headphones. So I don't know if that was it or not. But let's yeah, if I start screaming at you, let me know. Just because I'm excited. But yeah, I have people come to my shop say I don't want the ceramic coating. It's like, well, why? They said, well, because I did last card, it wasn't good. Well, maybe they got a bad product, maybe they had a bad experience, maybe they had a bad installer. It doesn't mean ceramic coatings are bad, but that's just something to think about. So recommendations, peer reviews, reviews to a certain degree are important, but I've also seen, issues with the reviews too. Let's get into. So if you're looking for the ceramic coating, look to see if they have a website. Check out the website. Check to see if that installer is located on their website. That's a good indication that they're probably reputable, that there's a big company behind them. When we got into Gian, we had to prove that we're a legitimate business, that we have insurance, that we have a website, that we have all the things that we should be doing as a business. I wouldn't be finding somebody off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or anything like that. There's a lot of fly-by-night guys that look like they know what they're doing. They can put a website together. They can talk all the talk. They've watched the videos. They sound really good, and the work may be suspect. Certification, it's a good step in the right direction for that. Ceramic coatings, do they understand Teslas? Are they listening to you, or are they just going to take your money? We got a couple testimonial videos. There's Rose, our friend. She's here tonight. Mr. Van Knox with his Model S showed up. One of the things I really pride myself on here at the company is that we're going to listen to you. Send us an email, schedule some time with me. We could talk about what you need. I'm in business, obviously, to make money and provide for my family, but at the end of the day, I want to get you what you need first, okay? And let's build a long-term relationship. So I'm telling you what you need. I'm not going to oversell you. If I don't think you need something, I'll tell you I don't think you need it. We can talk about, everybody has a little different application. Some people aren't driving on the highway a lot. Some people want to make it easy to wash their car. Maybe they're better. Some people are on the highway all the time and they want, they need the paint protection film. Other people, I've had people, where we've covered, we've done every body panel with paint protection film on a Model 3. And I've had some people where we just done the full front end on a Model S. So you think, well, wait a minute, you put more film on a less expensive car and less film on a more expensive car. Well, it doesn't work that way. The guy with the Model 3, it really meant a lot to him, and he really, really valued the paint protection film and that. The gentleman with the Model S, well, it made sense for him to buy a smaller amount of film. So, don't be scared if you have a Model S to call us up and tell us that. We'll sell you. You got my word. I'm going to sell you what you need, not try to take all the money out of you. So that kind of is another point too. I don't politely put it this way to you guys. You're smart, you're educated, you're buying Teslas. For the most part, everybody knows that you're successful and you have money. So just maybe be a little skeptical when you're dealing with people, talking to them about that. They may see that. They may use, there's certain sales tactics I don't agree with, that we don't employ, that you could really push some hot buttons with Tesla owners and talk about the paint. I don't use fear as a sales tactic. business. So if you need something, let us know. Jump online, get our buyer's guide from us. Take a look at that. That's going to put you in the right direction on that. One of the things I do at my shop that's unique is everybody's invited back 3 to 4 weeks after the coating's cured, after the paint protection film's cured. We're going to do a complimentary wash. So it gives me 2 opportunities. One, it gives me an opportunity to spend some time with you as a client and make sure that you understand how to take care of your car. So it's a training session for you. And for me, it's an opportunity for the 5th or 6th time to perform a quality check. So all of our customers know that they're leaving. If they do see any discrepancies or any errors in installations, they're coming back. We're going to take a look at it. Most of the time, if there is an issue, we can fix it right then and there. If it's something bigger that's more extensive that needs to be replaced, then we'll schedule time and we're going to fix it for you. So that's what I like to do. And it's we put together a video on our website. I don't like to keep plugging our video, but if you go to back to paint protection, the ceramic coating page, drop down. There's a video, a really nice video on how to wash your car. All the right methods you should be using. We consider that about $150 value to train you. That's all complimentary services. So those are the kind of commitments that somebody should be willing to spend with you if they're taking your money. And I don't mind, because I really enjoy washing cars. I really enjoy talking to people about cars, and my wife gets tired of hearing me talk about this stuff. So if I can sucker somebody into my shop and bend their ear for an hour, 2 hours, well, that's even better for us. So when you're shopping for the ceramic coatings, price is always the question. I don't think that's the end all be all of it. Are they doing paint correction in that price? How much paint correction are they doing? What parts of the vehicle are they coating? Are they coating the glass, the rims, and the tires? We break that out into different packages. Are they trying to get you in with the teaser price and then add all these little things up and it becomes a great big price? That's not saying it's bad. Some people, they don't want the glass coating, which I don't know why you wouldn't do that, but that's okay. So we have a package that doesn't include the glass. Paint correction. So time is money, guys. So multiple step paint correction, that's a couple days process, or just a single step that's maybe a day. Obviously, the more time we work on it, the more it's going to cost. What's that shop including of that? But if the guy brings you in and says, "Oh man, you're going to need all this paint correction work, and it's going to be a couple days to do that," well, if you don't believe them or don't trust them, just have them show you the work. Just take the car and say, "Well, if I bring the car, would you show me it?" I'll do that with if I'll show. I have nothing to hide here in the shop, so I will show you the work on your vehicle, what it looks like before, after, and then I can give you a couple options on that too. So let's talk about car washing and the best practices here. So this last black picture, that's a Tesla that was just really improperly washed. We call those in the industry, we call those love marks. So that's from a wash mitt that had a bunch of grit in it and a towel mark and just soft paint. So there's no way around the soft paint. So all your Teslas have soft paint. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to know that anything that touches your car could potentially scratch it. So you have to be real careful with your wash media and your towels. So the less force, the better. Dan's in there drying the Tesla off with a really nice microfiber towel. We barely touch the cars, but we'll just drag them across it. So that's the nice thing about having ceramic coating, is that the water will almost bead off the car. Just drag the towel back, car kind of dries itself. Get into it. Okay. We talk about the soap. So we used 2 soaps in the shop. We foam canned it up, which are the nice big Instagram pictures of a big soapy, foamy car. That's fun. So we set that on there and we let that dwell. That goes in. If you think about the magic bubbles going around your bathtub, that's kind of soaps in there getting happy on the car, doing its thing, breaking up dirt. We come with the pressure washer, we loosen all the dirt up, and we're not touching the vehicle, right? So we want to get all the dirt, all the grit, all the sand off your vehicle, because you think about it, you got dirt, you got grit, you got sand, you get sweat, and now you start rubbing it on. Well, you made liquid sand. That's not good. Um, the other thing I like to say is if you ever, if anything that's ever been in the kitchen, never let it touch your car. I can't tell you how many times somebody's come in and said, hey, well, I took the Brillo pad, or I took the dark green side of the Scotch-Brite pad to my car and tried to scrub something off. That is just bad news. That will wreck that paint. One of the things we talk is if you're on the car and you're washing it, you feel like you really got to rub to get the force off, stop. There's a different cleaning agent that you can use. Most likely, this is our personal car. It's Geon Tar right there. Well, Geon Tar takes off road tar. That's why we like the Geon products behind us here. The product nomenclature is really simple to use. It's not to say there's not other good products out there in the market. We just don't know which ones are good. We don't know which ones are bad. I haven't had the time to investigate 50 different car wash soaps, but I know that everything that we offer, recommend, will work for you at your home.
Okay.
So get the road tar off.
Yeah, Bill, we got 2 questions in there. One,
Okay.
Travis is asking, is there any value to anti-static drying agents?
Anti-static drying agents. I'm not familiar exactly with what he's asking for. If he had a specific product in mind, what we do sometimes is we'll use a detail spray that you can spray in the car, and that's going to help after it's washed. That's going to help put some lubricity on there, and that's going to help dry that off a little bit. And then the detail spray is also going to help remove any minerals too that may be left if you got hard water in there. So I would recommend that if you're running up against a lot of hard water.
Yeah, did he's saying actually, Travis, why don't you just come off mute?
Thanks, John. Yeah, so I use the anti-static chemical guy spray when I'm wiping down with their gloss, and it's supposed to stop the watermarks. I have hard water where I live,
Okay.
and there's lots of spots in the car, especially around the on the Model Y, on the front the trunk area where the water sits and the channels between the windows and the trim, and that anti-static it's supposed to make the water pour off. But the next morning I go out there and I always still see those white spots. So I'm still not convinced it's actually real or not.
Yeah. So Travis, most likely what's happening there is you have a Model Y. Okay.
Yes.
So what's happening is there's all that water that's built up in the trim. So when you spray that down, you're wiping it down. That water is just going to weep out. When we wash a car here in the shop, we'll pull it inside and we'll let it sit for another hour, 2 hours. And it's still like, I can move it to a dry section of the shop, and there will be a puddle of water with just all the water stripping out. So, is it on the rear hatch you're having the issues with?
Yeah, the biggest issues I have on the very rear hatch and then in the mirrors. I even bought one of those like blow dryer things to like
cool.
put everything through. So the side mirrors and the rear hatch, I always have the white watermarks from it. Okay,
so here's what I would do. Try this next time you need to wash your car. Just as you're going around, wipe everything down, wipe all the body panels, open all the doors, go in and wipe all the door jambs out, but open up the hatch, open up the rear hatch, and you're going to find all that water from where the body panel meets the glass. That whole channel is going to be filled up. It's going to run it. You're going to be amazed at how much water just runs out of there. So just let that hatch open, 15, 20 minutes when you're wipe down, open that up, wipe out the door jambs, wipe out all the rims, and then you'll see all that water, and most of that will run out. The mirrors, you're absolutely right with the mirrors. It's going to collect in there. Try drying underneath the mirrors now. Underneath it, there'll be a bunch of water that on that Tesla just holds up there. But if you can get in the mirror and blow out behind it, flush that out really well through there. So unfortunately,
awesome. Thank you.
It will.
Yeah, another question from Renee. I assume Renee is referring to the tar remover. Do you recommend a particular brand? And also, do you recommend a waterless wash?
Yeah, so I mean, we're a Geon shop, so I'll always recommend the Geon tar. We love that stuff here. We use it to remove emblems, badges, all kinds of stuff. I know it's safe on every vehicle. Stoner, Stoner, Stoner has a good tar remover, and that's probably available at any automotive store, or probably Walmart on that. If I had to, I'd go with that name on that. The question, I would be careful with. Again, I don't know which ones are good. I do like the Geon tar. I've used them on the Teslas. I mean, you could buy that on Amazon if you want, or geonusa.com. The nice thing, if you have a Model Y, you have all that plastic trim on the bottom there. I know that some of the tar removers, because they're solvent based, will streak the plastic. The Geon tar won't do that. It won't stain. The black plastic will get like a white stain on it, which is no good. So, I mean, my safest bet, if I had to make an absolute recommendation that anybody can use at home, would be Geon tar for you. And waterless rinse, yeah. Car Pro makes a really nice waterless rinse. You're going to see a lot of videos on that. It's a Eco 2. It's like a play on environment. Like I think it's ECH2O. So like Eco and then water, H2O. They make a really nice waterless wash. I've had experience with that. And then Opti Rinse is a great one too. Those I'd point you in the right direction of those two.
Yeah, the tar remover, that's GY.
It's GYEON.
Okay, I got it in the chat. Cheryl says that she got tar off her other white car using WD-40, and it dripped right off with no scrubbing.
I had a white Jaguar, and I went right through the tar, and it was on the sides, and a neighbor had read it on something and told me, and I just sprayed it on there, and it just dripped right off. I washed it off. I didn't have to scrub.
Yeah, I don't. I think I've heard that before, Cheryl, and obviously that was your experience, and I'm glad it worked out great for you. The thing I would be careful of something like that is anytime any of the tar removers, they will remove the tar on the paint. It's just when you get close to the plastic. I'm sure WD-40 would probably most likely be safe on plastic, but always if you got a product and you don't know about it, always test it on inconspicuous, a small area. That's the standard verbiage and all that stuff. And just make sure it's not going to stain the plastic trim. But that's cool. And kudos to you, Cheryl. Probably another great thing that happened to you. It sounds like you stay on top of your car maintenance. So you saw a problem, you got on it right away. That's the best thing you do with any of this stuff is if you see the tar. Another issue that happens a lot of times. We're not going to see it now. We're going to see it in a few months. Is right before school starts, and they go and they paint all the traffic lines. If you get traffic paint in your car, get some of that tar remover, and just have that on hand so you can go spray that, take it to the car wash, and rinse off. If you get traffic paint on your car, it's not the end of the world. But the sooner you address the problem, the easier it's going to be to get it off.
Okay, we're caught up.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about the Scotch Brite pad. That's going to mar the paint up. That's just a bad idea. Something we talked about. Travis, to your point right there, I'm drying the rim. So this point, if you're wide, you'd have the back hatch open. In our shop, we use black towels for door jambs and wheels, and that's a completely different towel than the rest of the body. And that's because I don't want to cross-contaminate. If there is some dirt in the door jamb or on the wheel, I don't want to touch the body panel with that and put some marring into it potentially. And those are all washed. All the towels are washed separately after every car wash. So we always use fresh wash with fresh towels every time we touch a vehicle here at our shop. So we can talk about the 2-bucket method wash. It's kind of universally accepted as the best wash method. So what we're doing here is I have two buckets. I have a red and a green bucket. So the red bucket means red means stop, green means go. I take the red bucket, I fill up with just straight water, and the green bucket is my soap and my soap mixture, water and soap. And then we have a grit guard at the bottom. I want to show you that in the next slide. But I rinse the washment out in the red bucket, bring it out, and I go into green. So what happens is if I do pick up a piece of dirt and I move it around, I'm only going to damage a small section of the vehicle. Hopefully not, but we do that, and then we don't, pick up a piece of dirt that's on one panel and then drag it and mar over on that whole panel on that. The other thing we do in our shop, and this is just an easy tip, guys. If you ever drop a washment, it hits the floor, stop. You're done. Okay, so we have multiple washments in the shop. I'm a pretty calm dude, but if you drop the washment, I better see you bring it inside and put it in the wash bit to go and wash. But that's somebody drops something on the floor and they pick it up and they touch the car. That's how you damage stuff. So if you drop a washment, you drop a towel, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just don't touch the paint with it, please. That's how you're gonna scratch it up. Here's the screens right there. Those are grit guards. Those sit in the bottom of the thing. It's a super simple idea. I don't know why they never thought of this earlier, but it's been around for the last 15, 20 years, probably 15. Grit guards. It's exactly what it's just GRIT guards. Go to Amazon, buy 2 of those for $20. That's the best $20 you're going to spend by washing your car, and it's going to make you look. We talked about the waterless options a little bit. Grab some YouTube videos. So we don't have any water restrictions out where we live here. So the waterless options really became popular in California. California became popular for Tesla because that's where it kind of, grew up first there. People can't go out and use the garden hose to wash your car. So how do we get our customers to waterless rinse? I also like the waterless rinse. It's really nice in the wintertime. If you want to go and, go to the car wash, go to the quarter car wash, just blow off the car. You don't even have to use the soap solution here. Just blow off the car, try to blow all the grit off the car, all the dirt, drive it home. Hopefully it's still relatively clean. You can use a waterless wash. Get yourself a bunch of microfiber towels, high quality microfiber towels, make up the waterless mix, and one towel per section. When you're done with that section, set the towel aside, go get another towel, and you can wash your car by your garage. So if you're only using 2 gallons of water, you can wash your garage, and it could be 20 degrees outside, but if it's 32, 35 degrees in your garage, you can find washing it inside there. And then you can pull your car out in the middle of a snowstorm, your car's clean, your neighbors are going to wonder what's happening there. So that's kind of fun with them on that. So that's how I like to maintain the cars in the winter time, if you really need to on that. So we're almost to the end, guys. So I have 4 nevers here. So never go to the automatic car wash, especially with the big brushes. Never let the dealership or service center wash your car. One of the things we do for all our clients, once you get ceramic coating with us, we give you a special tag that says "Do not wash." You hang that up when you don't wash your car for you. When washing your car, sorry, they were numbered earlier. Now they're not. So we got 4 number 1s. All right, I guess they're all equal. When washing your car, never use the drop wash water towel. Just don't do that. Okay. If you drop it, you need to stop. And then look, let's not get nutso about this. Okay. Going out and washing your car by yourself is going to be hard. But if you're past that hurdle, it should be fun. It should be fun. It should be rewarding. So let's not lose our minds about this. Like if we follow some of these steps, our car's going to look better than 95% of vehicles out there. And then you'll start kind of chasing the game a little bit. You start looking for pro tips. Travis is looking how to get all the water spots off his car. A couple more tips like that. He's going to find out. Travis, probably what you want to do there for the water spots. Get yourself a detail spray. After it's dry, go out and just hit it with the detail spray and wipe it down. Just clean it, and your water spots are gone. So that's that's kind of the end of my presentation. One thing I'd like to plug, guys, is April 9th, we have Cars and Coffee at my shop. So I personal invite to everybody here tonight. Coming out, bring your friends, please RSVP. We're catering. We're having a breakfast. We have the coffee, obviously Cars and Coffee. You can't have Cars and Coffee without coffee, but we have got omelet station. So I got a chef coming to make omelets here and all that. So please come. It's going to be a great turnout, and hopefully have some nice hospitality, meet some nice friends. If you have any more questions, you can obviously ask them then. Use our website as a resource, and use the resource, use the website as a resource. Got a lot of good information there, and hopefully I can help you out. So, any other questions or?
Yeah, we have another question here. Any suggestions on how to wash the underside of a vehicle after driving on salted roads?
Yeah, there's a couple. So if you have a pressure washer, there's some undercarriage flushes that it's a wand attachment, and it'll kind of bidet itself out, and it'll blow up underneath it. That's good if you have a pressure washer. If you don't have a pressure washer, maybe an upside down or one of like the watering extensions that would just sprinkle up, to get the salt off. I mean, that's a great point. The biggest thing you want to do is get the salt off the car as quick as you possibly can. And that's where almost I would risk the anodized trim a little bit to go to those touchless washes and get that full brush under there. And maybe post up. I mean, if we'll do this, if you went to a certain car wash and they did anodize your trim, jump in the local Facebook group, post that up so people are warned not to go there. I've seen some cars come through that have been to these touchless car washes and absolutely fine. I've seen other ones that just get all chewed up with it. So yeah, get the salt off the car. It's a great question.
Okay. Any other questions for Bill?
John, I got a couple of things I'd like to talk about if you take
Sure.
a minute.
Go for it, Phil.
This is a caveat to warn other people. Didn't happen to me. It happened to my neighbor. They repaved our streets a couple years back. Yeah, if when they repave a street, after a while they come back and cut expansion joints. Well, my neighbor, they had gone through, cut them out. It rained that morning. My neighbor drove through, brought his car home, didn't think anything about it till the next day. He went out and discovered that the sides of his car were covered with cement.
Ooh.
It took several $100s worth of work to get the crap off the car. So if you're driving near road construction, make sure there's nothing cement looking on the side of your car when you get done.
Good warning.
And the other thing talk about water spots, what I've been using is a deionizing cartridge that goes on the end of your hose. It basically deionizes the water that comes out, and it rinses off easier, leaves fewer water spots because you're getting rid of the particulates, the minerals in the water when you rinse.
Great tip.
So I will use a foam cannon, wash the car, rinse that off, switch out, put on the deionizer cartridge, and spray the car down again, and then just let it dry. And you get hardly any water spots that way. You can buy them on Amazon. I think the one I got is good for like 10 washes. It costs $20.
Cool. Got that, Travis? All right.
That's all from me.
Okay, thanks,
Yep,
Phil.
I'm looking it up now.
Travis is already looking it up.
Yep. Oh, there's some you can spend a lot of money on Amazon. But you don't, if you search for it, you'll find deionizing cartridges.
Washing my cars is the favorite thing that I do right now. It's like once or twice a week. So it's like a new hobby. I love it.
Okay, that's great. Any other questions, guys? Floor is open. All right.
Bill, I listened to your presentation. I want to say maybe sometime last year. And I live in Odenton, Maryland, which is in the DMV area.
Okay.
So I did get my paint protection and everything at a place in Rockville that's not too far from the Rock Tesla dealer. And it's because of you that I went and did it, because I wanted to protect my car. So I really appreciate the presentation.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Hopefully you get
make sure you tell that dealer that he owes Bill a referral fee.
Bill, I have one other question. I got my car coated, the entire car up here, and I'm in Michigan, with a
Oh.
dealer using the same products you use.
Okay.
He put on the SunTech React
Mhm.
with the ceramic in it. Is there anything I have to do to keep the ceramic up versus like what you were talking about with ceramics is a separate coating? About
No,
having
you're
to
gonna-
redo it. Is there anything I have to do with the React?
No, I would just, I mean, I would maintain it like you would an normal ceramic coated car. So, I mean, that coating is probably gonna last 4 to 5 years, somewhere around there. You know, 1 to 2 years, you may see the height, the beating ability of it go down a little bit, but just, you can top it off with a ceramic detail spray or a ceramic topper.
Okay.
We use the Geon Cure here, which is good. You can put on that. We like Geon Wet Coat. It's super easy to use. There's just a couple fine tips, and that's always going to put hydrophobic abilities on the car. If you like those great big water beads on the car, that helps. So yeah, I would. I mean, and then you can try the Geon PPF wash eventually of that, but it has some iron decontamination properties in it, which is good. Does your car live inside or outside?
It's in the garage.
Okay. Where in Michigan are you?
It's north of Detroit,
Where?
Sterling Heights.
Okay. Yeah, I lived in Rochester Hills for about 5 years when I was a kid.
Oh, well, right down the road.
Yeah, I went to Kettering, Flint, GMI.
I did not grow up in this area.
Oh, okay.
I married into this area.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, you have another question in here from Fred.
Okay.
Who thanked you for all the info. And apparently he's looking forward to seeing you next week for his PPF installation. He wants to know, does he need to do anything to the car to get it ready?
No, just that's actually a great question. I probably should put that in for the next presentation. People ask us about that. So any reputable shop should do a full wash of your vehicle. People, don't do anything to the vehicle before you get here. We'll take care of everything for you. We're going to wash it down. We're going to clay bar it if we need to. We're going to inspect it. We're going to make sure all the bugs, bars off of it. I've had people like go, oh, I tried to help you out. I waxed the car. I'm like, well, if you wax the car, the wax, anything that's slick that gets on top of the vehicle is not going to help the film bond. I don't know, but I mean, honestly, another pro insider tip is ask them what they do to maintain or prep the vehicle for you. I did some subcontract work when I started because I was slow at my shop, and I started drying off the back end of the car, and the guy stopped me, the shop owner. I said, well, he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm drying the car. And he goes, no, we don't wash the whole car. I'm like, what? He goes, we just wash the front end because that's all we're putting film on. I just like, it blew my mind. It's that, okay, I'm at your shop. You tell me what you want me to do. I mean, if you don't want to wash the car, we don't have to wash the car, but I couldn't believe that. So, there is, it's all the same stuff on paper, but it really depends on who you're dealing with. So yeah, Fred, we'll take care of you. You'll be in good hands. Come have an omelet with us next week before you get here.
My
Yeah,
installer asked that I bring in touch-up paint in case of any tiny little spots, which he did find a couple of before he washed the car, before he started putting on the film.
Oh, that's another good point there, Phil. So honestly, we do so many Teslas right now. I think I've collected all the colors.
Okay.
Touch-up paint. Now here's what I've learned. I've learned if people ask me, can you touch up paint? Can you touch up paint chips? As soon as I say we can, I never hear from them. They don't book the job. So one, two, 3, yeah, we can do touch up on them. And I just tell people the caveat is it's not going to look like the factory paint. It's not going to look complete, but it's going to take your eye away from, hey, there's a color differential there. I got a white car and I got a black chip, but yeah, we have the touch-up paint here. And if we don't, I can get it the same day from a body shop, body supply shop that makes it up for us. So we've had pretty good success with that. But the biggest thing is just get the car in. I mean, you're going to pay a bunch of money for paint protection film, so get it scheduled, get to that shop as soon as you possibly can with them.
Well, that's it. I didn't have any real issues. He just Said, if you have it, I'll take it. If there's anything
Yeah.
small, before I put the film on, I'll dot it up so we don't have to worry
Cool.
about that. If it's bigger, then we have to deal with, like you said, paint correction.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I took it in like as quickly as I could get an appointment right after I bought it.
Perfect. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. So hopefully I'm telling people now, make an appointment with us, get on the books, and I understand delivery days change. We will change your appointment to accommodate that. I mean, I'll do everything I can to, move our schedules around. But if I don't have you on the schedule, I can't get you.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. Yeah, Jatoya is reminding us, if you have a minute, you were going to touch on wraps.
Oh, wraps. Okay, yeah, sure. So wraps are completely different than paint protection film. Wraps should provide some paint protection technically, but they're typically about, they don't have the impact layer, they're about a third of the thickness of paint protection film. So wraps are, you're going to wrap a car simply for the fashion, they call them fashion films, simply for the aesthetics. So you're going to wrap your Tesla because you want to, you don't want a white Tesla, you want a pink Tesla or something. Wrap jobs, they vary in prices from a few thousand. I mean, they could be $4,000 to $10,000. I don't know. That's potentially when you'll really start taking these, the car will start coming apart, bumpers start coming off, front bumpers, back bumpers start coming off. I don't like disassembling cars, so that's one of the reasons we don't do wraps. The other thing, if you really want a car and you're going to get it wrapped, and you order a black car. If you have a black car and you want to get it wrapped, the wrap guy is going to be so much happier for you, because what the door gaps are in that, when they wrap it, it won't be as noticeable. The most difficult cars to wrap for a color change are white vehicles. So that's honestly probably everything I know about wraps right now. So at this point, honestly, I'm outside of my expertise on that. So is it paint protection? Yeah, it's going to stop the paint from fading and all that. Is it going to stop it from being chipped up? Probably not. But there's wrap shops, just really investigate the shop you're dealing with and make sure they know what they're doing on that. I've seen a lot of
Yeah, Jatoya is saying that would have been nice to know, because I know she has a white car.
oh sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen, with a wrap, just out of curiosity, would you ceramic coat a wrap?
Yeah, you could. I honestly, now that if you got a wrap and somebody offers you ceramic coating on it, I think that really makes sense, because so the paint protection film has a clear coat on top, a self-healing clear coat. So just like your car has a clear coat, paint protection film is clear coat. So I don't see the need to push the ceramic coating start. But I've seen a lot of wraps, they fade out over time, and the ceramic coating will help stop some of that. And so the ceramic coating will help increase the longevity of the wrap. The wrap it may only last 4 to 5 years on that. We've seen that on a lot of these cars, if they'll put the vinyl decals on, or and those hood stripes get all faded out and nastied up over time. So that would be a great option to put a ceramic coating. So yeah, definitely money well spent on a ceramic coating on a wrap. Great question.
Okay. Yeah, Jatoya is saying they suggested the clear bra. She opted out, but thinks she should have done that.
Yeah, I mean, the clear ball is going to stop the impact from it if the paint chips are tearing up the paint. I mean, live and learn, I guess, on that one.
Yep.
It would have made sense, but I also get it too. If you're $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 at that, and they're coming at you for $600 or $700, at some point you got to say enough, guys. So don't feel too bad, but maybe next time it makes sense on that.
Got it. Okay. Any other questions for Bill? Okay. Well, it sounds like we covered it, Bill.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for everybody's time.